On tap, Great Lakes Christmas Sale. Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today we have a special episode with the live studio audience. We are sipping on Christmas Ale from the Great Lakes Brewing Company. It's known in Ohio as Christmas Crack because its popularity causes it to sell out quickly. Our crack team of beer detectives was able to track down an entire case of it so that we have enough to share with our audience tonight. Christmas Ale is 7.5% ABV and 30 IBUs. It is brewed with honey, fresh ginger, and cinnamon. This winter warmer is available in November and December in 6-packs and on draft. They add a little wheat for body and head retention and a touch of roasted barley to add complexity and color. They balance the malt bill with U.S.-grown Hallertau hops. Mark, what kind of flavors are you getting? Is this a really spicy holiday offering?
I mean, this beer to me does have a lot of spice that it brings to the table. And I really enjoy what I think is actually a spice complexity. You know, it's got a great malt character as well, which brings out a little bit of sweetness on the backbone of it. And it must have, like, you know, really great hop balance as well, because it, you know, it's not bittering. It's just, you know, very smooth, sweet, but still it's got a lot of the spice that they put in there that I think is really great and makes it a pretty solid winter beer also. Yeah,
Joby, is this, where does this rank for you amongst holiday beers or Christmas style beers?
Right, this would have to be right at the top, James. I found this last year, I think, when we finally were, you know, the Christmas time came around, we finally got our hands on this, and I really enjoy it. So this is kind of my bar for whenever I go out and find other holiday, Christmas, seasonal beers. I compare it to this one because this is kind of the cream of the crop for me.
Yeah, I agree. I do the same thing.
I mean, it's got that, like Mark was saying, that spicy, that, I don't know, eggnog-ish, you know, that nutmeg, I don't know what it's actually in there, but it's got that spicy that I really enjoy. I think it's great balance, like Mark was saying, so I think it's really good.
All right, so we have a question from our audience today. Mr. Brandon Dunn from Cleveland, Ohio. You have a question for the panel?
Yes, gentlemen, I was curious, what is it that you look for in a Christmas ale?
I just look for a balanced beer, and I feel like this is definitely one that does that. It's still got that creamy mouthfeel that you look for in some of the Christmas ales, the way that they kind of balance it with the sweetness and then the spice. And last year's actually is a prime example. It wasn't balanced like this. The Great Lakes from last year was kind of, I wouldn't say too sweet, but there was just something off about it to me. It almost had a bad aftertaste. And this one, they've changed it up a little bit. They've done something so that it actually has that follow-through that doesn't just fill your mouth full of pine.
Mm-hmm. Good eye contact. Richard, what is your what is the aroma on this one? Or, you know, what are you getting in the aroma on this one?
I'm getting a lot of cinnamon out of this, and it really smells like a dessert beer. When you drink it, to me, it doesn't taste like a dessert beer. Kind of in between. I mean, when I think of Christmas ales, this is pretty close to what I think of, as it's spicy, but it's not overly spicy.
Yeah, now this is your first time on the show, Mr. Richard Hartogs. You write some articles for our website, but you're from out of town. I mean, is this the kind of beer that you want coming to the greater Washington, D.C. area?
I think it'd be great if it came to the Washington, D.C. area. You know, for one, Great Lakes has a really good reputation, and the more great beer we could get down there, the better off we would be.
But there's no buzz currently that you know of about this beer in DC.
No, I mean we actually get Great Lakes inside the city, but most of the population lives outside where Great Lakes isn't. Okay,
Mark, what's your rating on this one?
I mean, for me, it's definitely a 9. I'm very excited about this beer, and I definitely look forward not only to the winter season because I love winter seasonal beers, but Great Lakes Christmas Ale especially. And this year is definitely no exception to that because I think that this year, like Scott was saying, is much better than it was last year, which is like a little bit of a disappointment for me. I just felt like it was a little too watery. I think there was too much booze on the nose and too much booze even on the palate. It felt like the alcohol was hitting you.
That's probably a better way to say it. That's exactly what
it felt like there was more alcohol hitting you than there was the rest of, you know, the spice character to it. So this year I was really psyched. I've had it several times on tap, and I mean, through and through, it's a 9 for me.
Okay, Joby, rating.
I'm right on par with Mark. I'm a 9 as well, James. Like I said before, anytime I'm out looking at a Christmas beer, this is the bar I set it to. I compare it to this. Again, back to Brandon's question from the audience, what do you look for in a Christmas beer? I like those spices in the beer for the Christmas time. I don't really enjoy the ones that are just piney, hoppy. I think those can be kind of anytime beers, you know?
Right.
They don't, to me, they don't stand out as a Christmas time only beer. I think for me, they have to have the spices in there to actually remind me of the holiday season.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Scott, what is your rating?
Give it an 8. For me, this sets the bar as well. I mean, Christmas ales aren't something that I necessarily seek out myself because I'm not really one that likes the spicy and sweet beers. I mean, I generally have kind of changed into more of a hop head, but yeah, this is definitely an excellent beer. And if you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend reaching out and grabbing a 6-pack if you can find one.
Richard?
I give it an 8. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to try a good example of a Christmas ale. One thing I get from it, which I really dig, is that the mouthfeel is like the bottom of a cappuccino with the cinnamon and the froth, you know, after you're done with the coffee. And, you know, I kind of like licking that, you know, in private.
Whoa.
This is a family show, Richard.
Richard's first and last appearance on the show.
He's from out of town. Go back.
It's fine.
We don't even know this guy.
And you're dressed as Santa Claus. Whose lap is he going to be sitting on?
Christmas ale gets an 8.5 on the BBA scale. What's your favorite holiday ale? Do you prefer it with or without additional spicing? Let us know in the comments section. Merry Christmas from James Knott, Joby Johnson, Mark Smith, Scott Blickhand, Richard Hartogs, and all of the Better Beer Authority.